Hi, my name is Tom Roth. I'm a soil conservationist with the Natural Resources Conservation Service, and we're going to try to take you through some things that we've learned in planting some cover crop plots here in Riley County, Kansas. The drill we use is a Great Plains 1205. It's a no-till drill. It's pretty heavy. Some of the issues you can run into when you start seeding cover crops. Depth control is a big problem or a big challenge. Also, getting your drill set when you start using diverse mixes. Here we have what our 5 species mix, and it's got cowpeas and sun hemp and sudan and buckwheat, and it's a pretty diverse mix. There's a pretty good variation in seed size here. So one of the big challenges is setting your drill. The method we've kind of come up with is to use the manufacturer's seeding rate charts. The one thing that's important is to get the seed so that the rates are all in the same clutch setting. If you don't have the same clutch setting, you'll be maybe under on some, over on others. And so when you're looking at the chart, it'll be like drive type. So you want to try to make sure that all of your rates that you pick are on the same drive type. And this is how you change that on this particular model of drill. The way we did it was took the pounds of seed in the mix, and once we got to the same drive type for all of them, there's a setting here which is your seed setting handle, and that's right here on this particular model of drill. And then we just added together the seed setting numbers, and that's where we set it, and so that we could have the right rates. We weighed some seed last year after we got done, and our settings we're at 98%. I think that's pretty good. There's another way to calibrate these drills, and most newer drills come with a handle now. So you come over here and you put some pans underneath the tubes, and you crank it, and the chart will say how many revolutions you need to get to an acre. You can divide that so that you can get it down a little bit, and then you weigh it and multiply it, do some division, and get it to what your actual seeding rate is. The other way to do it is to take an acre, you kind of flag it out, weigh enough seed so that it should cover an acre, seed it, clean the drill out, weigh it, and then you would have what your percentage was. Depth control on this particular model, this has coulters on it. The coulters are right down here. Our preference has been to not get real deep with the coulters, probably maybe an inch or inch and a half, 2 inches maximum. Really all you want to do is cut the residue and maybe open up a slot. This also has double disc openers on it. It doesn't have any depth bands. Your depth control is done through the press wheels. And we'll go around to the back of the drill after we talk a little bit more about seed size and depth. Here we have, this is dwarf Essex Rate, purple top turnips. Purple top turnips are pretty popular for a livestock forage in our area. This is really, really small, fine seed. So we don't really, you could just about broadcast it on top of the soil. A ½ inch is plenty deep, depending on moisture conditions. And this particular drill has 2 different boxes. We'll talk about those later also. There's a large one which is more I guess I'd call it commercial seed, but for your wheat, barley, cereal rye, oats, chickpea, um, maybe a few other of those species. Um, Probably the biggest seed that we plant here in our area. This is chickling vetch. It actually looks a lot like gravel. It's a pretty good sized seed. If you're going to be planting this, I recommend you get your seed cups open as far as they'll go. And this is one that you want to get 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches deep into the soil. That's been what stuff that I've read about. It's worked pretty good. We used a different drill to seed some of our plots this year. It has depth bands on it, so we only got it 1 inch deep. Still came up, looks fairly good, but I think it's one of those seeds that probably, you want it a little deeper than maybe some of the other seeds. Okay, this happens to be another one. This is a winter grazing mix. And again, it's a pretty diverse mix. We've got some oats, barley, triticale, some common vetch, winter pea. So there's again a fairly diverse mix, and we would probably recommend doing it by using the charts, but I would also recommend that either you use the calibration method using the hand crank, or find a specified area, seed it, and weigh the seed. It's because of the small grains in it, it's a little harder to get the drill set, so I would probably recommend either hand cranking it or measuring a specific distance and seeding it that way. So we'll go back, we'll look at the drill boxes, kind of explain how those are. We'll also look at the depth control on this particular model. Like I said, there's some drills have depth bands, so you really don't have to worry about depth control. My experience has been it would be better to take the depth bands off and probably use cylinder stops, because some of them that we seeded this year, we didn't have real good emergence, and again, it was this smaller seed, and we probably got it deeper than what we would like. So let's go around to the back of the drill.